Good evening, everyone. Welcome to March 1st. An exciting time. We have this morning, our summer incentive was just announced. Before we get started with that, I wanted just to, Cindy, you're the only one live on today. So did you watch the Tuesday call? Oh, okay, that's okay. I just like to chat and see if people have like thoughts or, things to chat about regarding that before I start on anything else. The call, the All Consultant call is available every Tuesday live, and you have an opportunity to earn free products or business supplies. If you're on live, they do a drawing, so it's kind of fun to be on. If you can't be on live, you can always go back and watch it. The reason why I've tried to focus on the training that's already been done, because I'm trying to keep it simple this year. So you, as everybody that's leaders, don't feel intimidated that you have to figure out a new topic and whatever. And this way, it's teaching your team members to be independent and to kind of do your own training. And then we get together and we chat about it if you need to. But it actually works out good, because today, since we did have our summer incentive come out, I wanted to focus on that and kind of talk about it. So let me go ahead and get into my workstation now that my internet is deciding to actually work. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. So there's an incentive tab on your workstation. So if you want to follow along that way, or if you've printed it out, I do definitely encourage everybody to print out the breakdown. So when you go into this area right here, incentive, it's going to do the overview, the track your progress, how to earn, which we'll talk about in a second, and then the FAQ. So these are obviously common questions that people get regarding incentive periods in themselves, as well as common questions that may come up for this specific incentive, because every incentive has something a little bit different, whether it's what you earn or how you earn it. Usually how you earn it is pretty similar. If you've been with us longer than 6 months or a year that you've been through another incentive, one thing that I always like to remind everybody is that when Orville, the owner, decided to do incentives, he did it because he wanted it to be a way to teach you how to run your business. And if you notice, when we break down the how to earn, the different qualifications are always going to be consistency of certain things, actions. And that means and what he's teaching us is that it's not just during an incentive period. It's something that has to continue to happen. You can get so far in this business to a certain title, even to make a certain amount of money. But if you stop doing those things, you're not going to move any further. And you can even go backwards if you're not doing those things. So what he's doing is basically dangling a carrot at the end of the, in front of you, telling you, if you do these things, you're going to get this reward. But the reward is not what he is. That's not the actual intention. That's just the celebration that you have now learned how to run your business in all areas. It's basically teaching you how to master your business. So let's look at this this qualification really fast. So let's start with the overview. So it's called Keep Going, Keep Growing, Kick Up Your Sales and Sponsoring This Season to Earn Scentsy Products, Scentsy Brand Luggage, which is cool. Sneakers, which is a Converse, Scentsy customized sneakers, which is kind of cool, from Converse. Even a trip for two to the January 22 leadership event. So that opportunity right there, if you're in this to actually make this a business for you, that you rely on this income, you can consider what you do as a business and a career, not just the thing you do on the side. That is where I would suggest you strive to try to earn, is because you will be surrounded by people that are looking at the business the same way you do. and or doing it even more intensely than you are, so you can learn from them. You're going to be surrounded by people that have made it a business, made it a career. You're able to pick their brains. Honestly, guys, every incentive trip I've ever earned, it's yes, it's exciting to go certain places, but the real excitement for me was always to be surrounded by these people. And that what really helped me build my business every year, is because I was able to sit and in a beautiful place, like, tropical place or on a cruise or whatever, but I got to sit and mingle with the top performers of the company and learn from them. And then vice versa, there's never think that you don't have something to offer. It doesn't matter if you joined yesterday. You may have skills that, even your superstar director doesn't have, because you've been doing certain things in your personal life or your day job that can contribute to your Scentsy business. So it's always never feel like you can't share or teach something to your team, or just your Scentsy family that you're in, our specific group. Scentsy branding luggage, that's something you can earn when you become a director and have consistency in making your numbers every I think for 6 months. This wasn't available when I became a director, so I don't really remember the consistency. It's either 3 or 6 months that you get Scentsy branded luggage. And the benefits of branded luggage is that when you travel to all these different places, it's going to be a focal point that people in line with you checking your bags or whatever, they're going to see that you're part of Scentsy. And you will find that you're able to sponsor and build a team or new clients, online hosts in different areas. And that's how you really, really expand your business. If you're only focusing on your business in one place, which is your hometown, there's going to be a point that you need to break out, because you're not going to be able to get to the next level of your business. So always thinking nationally, internationally, and even global, because wherever you go, there's always an opportunity to meet somebody that can be either a part of your business or help you grow your business. Okay, so track your progress. So this is your tracker. Today's day 1. I haven't placed an order yet, so I have 0 PRV, and I like people to see that, because my little pep talk I gave you guys yesterday, it's a lot of people think that, just the people that are in the high, titles of the company, they earn these. That's absolutely not true. I may be at the very highest title that you can earn in Scentsy, but I still have to do all these qualifications like you do. So it's not a company that teaches us to build a foundation and then just sit back and let everybody else run it for you. It's a business that the company teaches us to stay involved, and that's why we call ourselves Scentsy family, because you're always involved in supporting your team, and also continuously doing the same things that your team is doing by example, basically, and setting that example. Okay, so here are the, there's different levels, and we're going to go ahead and how to earn really fast. Okay, so level 1, the qualification is sell 1,000 PRV within the qualification period, which is today through June 30th. I'm almost positive. Let me see where they have that broken down. They have it somewhere. Okay. So right here, the download your printable tracker. I'll just go ahead and do that so you guys can see what it looks like. Cindy, can you see that? Did that show up? Okay. So right here's the qualification period, March 1st through June 30th. And this basically just, kick up your sales and sponsoring. I think this is just what we read earlier. And use this tracker to stay focused on the rewards you want most. For more details, check out the incentives section of the work section. That's where we got this tracker. So it's so important the reason why tracking it is so important is because when you are sponsoring people regularly, when you are selling, you need to be able to gauge, like, how far am I to this area that you want to focus. Obviously, I would always recommend everybody to focus on striving to get level 3, because if you're striving for high, they always say reach for the moon and land among the stars. So if you don't get the moon, you're at least going to get the stars. Meaning, if you don't get level 3, because you're striving for that, you're going to keep going instead of get to level 1 and stop working, right? You'll at least get to level 2 or definitely number 1 if you're focusing on this higher area. So sponsor to certified. Potential new team members. So you want to write down people that are on your list. When we were talking about, creating your dream team a few weeks ago and having a list of people that are potentials and having like a number of where they are as far as warm or hot. Those are the people you want to put on your top 5 people that you feel are the closest to becoming consultants. And you kind of just so they stay on your mind. So, I haven't had a conversation with them, in a couple days, or they told me to call them back on Thursday. It keeps your mind focused on what needs to be happening, because how many times have you said, oh yeah, I'll do that, or I'll call you, and you don't write it down, you don't put in your calendar, nothing, and you don't call that person, right? It's because you have so many things going on in your mind, with your business, your day job, your family, whatever, your church, whatever you got going on. You have to give yourself leisure, some room to kind of help your brain retain what needs to happen. And that's part of writing it down on a list and keeping it in one place, because obviously if they join, the goal is to get them certified. Now, why do we want that to be certified? Why is that number or that title so significant and important? Because statistically, people that become certified within the first 6 months or sooner, statistically tend to stick with the company. But if they don't become certified within that first 6 months, it's more like 3 to 6 months, they're not receiving anything. They're not gaining anything from being a consultant. So there's nothing to lose, right? So it's easier for them just to drop off and do nothing. Now, with our new qualification standards, which means they only have to place 200 PRV in 1 month in a 12-month basis, that's not going to help you getting them off to a sensational start, right? So I suggest that not to be your selling point or your pitch per se, like, hey, you don't have to do anything, because if you tell them they don't have to do anything, their mindset is going to be, I don't have to do anything. And you're going to be able to go, yay, they joined. But the cool thing about Scentsy is when somebody thinks that our company is I'm just going to take this off while we talk about this real fast. When people think that our company is a pyramid scheme, now the shape of our business is a pyramid, because guess what? Everything in any type of company in the world is a pyramid. Somebody's at the top and people are at the bottom. The only reason why ours is not a scheme, well, there's 2 reasons. One, because we exchange a product for money. So they pay $99, $59, $10, whatever their kit ends up, and they get product in exchange. So they are getting something that they purchased their money for. Now, schemes, pyramid schemes don't do that. They're asking you to buy something and they're not getting anything back. They're not getting actual product back for joining. Now, another reason why we're not a scheme is because we do not get paid to sponsor people. So you can sponsor 25 people this month, but if they don't do anything, it doesn't do anything for you. So that's why I've taught in the past that you want, when people are joining or thinking about joining or whatever, it's exciting, especially if you haven't had anybody join in a while, you're like, yay. But here's the thing, guys, we have to kind of keep our emotions neutral, because yay, they joined, but now you're at the next point. Are they going to do anything? Because why get yourself so emotionally, oh my gosh, I have a new team member. And then when they end up doing nothing, no matter what you do, you try to, get on a call with them, get on a Zoom, you try to help them, and nothing. Then there's that emotional roller coaster. You all of a sudden, you're lower than you were before you had a new consultant, right? Because you start to think, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Am I not good enough? Whatever. And it's not that at all. It's just you can't want it more than they want it. So that's why I always encourage to stay very neutral when somebody joins, and even offering the opportunity. If you approach it like you're desperate for them to join, they're going to think that you need them, okay? Which you don't. they need you. They need this opportunity. So I always present it as I'm offering something that can be a blessing to you, but you're the one that's going to have to put the time in and the effort. I'm here to support you, but it's all you. The more effort you put in, the better result you're going to get. Okay. So when I say top 5 people, it's people that have, know the product, that maybe have hosted for you before. So they have people that they know that buy, and they have a why, they have a reason. They lost their job, they really need the income, and they're looking for any way to get some income right now. Again, they love those are like hot areas. There's a reason why they're going to join, and there's a reason why they're not just going to join, but they're actually going to do something. Okay. So that's why the first 15 days is so important. Scentsy literally sets us up, the new consultant up, on a start, like a track to earn something fast. They earn a reward, which is a shooting star award. So they're being rewarded immediately in their business, which a lot of companies, you could be with them for 25 years and they're like, hey, great, here's a little plaque that's this big. Thanks a lot for your service. So we want to show them that they are valuable, that we are proud of what they did as soon as possible, which is that first 15 days, right? And what is that doing? It's bringing them to halfway to certified. So that's why if you cut out the shooting star, you don't tell them about that. You just say, oh yeah, they want to join because of, whatever, it's free. And you're giving them excuses to not be productive and not be successful. They're going to take it, guys, because they don't have any type of commitment or buy-in to being successful, okay, in this business. So here's the thing. They're losing, especially if they join with like almost a free kit. There's no buy-in. There's nothing to earn back because they didn't give anything out, right? So they're getting free product, free kit, whatever. And so we're setting them up for failure if we are not following the shooting star goals and the sensational start goal and the certified goal. So there's a formula. And if we don't follow that formula with everybody, whether they pay $99 for the full kit or they pay $0 because they had a party hosted that gave them credit down and they were able to get a kit for free. If we don't still train them with the best steps, which is booking a launch party within the first 10 days, whether it's in home or partially in home and partially online, on the go, whatever, and then having at least 500 in by that 15th day. If we skip that, you guys, we're really setting them up for failure. Okay. Because there's no, they don't see what's possible. So when they're able to say, oh man, I did that in 15 days, and that's all that is really required all the way up to superstar director to be qualified to get a downline paycheck, and it's a 31 day period, all of a sudden their confidence goes up. Like, oh, well, maybe I can do this. Because literally most consultants start Scentsy thinking, I don't have the skill, I don't know enough people, I don't have the time. They're telling themselves why they're not going to be successful. So we have to believe in them and for them, and we have to show them why we believe in them, because we have a strategy and a formula that works if they follow those things. So if you struggle with sponsoring, or even if you get people to join, but you have people drop off all the time, or they don't do anything with their business, I want you to go back and think, how am I presenting this business to them? Am I just trying to get them signed on so I can say I sponsored somebody? Or am I really digging and finding out what the reason is and how the Scentsy can add value to their life and benefit for them? And am I really going through, am I trusting the system? Ask yourself that. Am I trusting the system? Meaning, do I feel confident saying, hey, we need to get you a party up and going, and so by the 10th day, so you can close it out by the 15th day, and being able to actually explain them why. Why do we need you to do this? It has nothing to do with me. I don't get rewarded for you setting your launch party. What happens is you become halfway to your certified mark, and we want to get you the highest compensation possible as a new consultant without already building a team, which is 25%. So you may need to break down how much it costs. I mean, I'm not sorry, not how much it costs, how much the difference is about them making 20 to 25%. And that may be the difference of how much they push to continue to sell the rest of the month when they think all they have to do is 500 and they're like, okay, I did in 15 days. But if you're able to say, you did that in 15 days, do you think if you booked another party with some people that didn't make it to your party or didn't get to buy, you might get to that $1,000 mark? Like, how does this show you that it is possible? See where they're at, see what they feel and what they're thinking. And because here's the thing, guys, we don't know what makes them scared. We don't know what drives them. We don't know what motivates them until we start asking questions. And so let's just do it right here. I'll put up so $500 PRV times 0.20 is $100 paycheck. So back in the day, before we had the host kit and stuff, that was our hook. And it's funny, I looked at that, I was like, I should know that, because this was our hook. If you sell your 500 in your first 15 days, the money you spent on your kit is back in your pocket. And the rest of the month is all profit. And that was what got people going, oh, well, I like that. And a lot of it, if they were women, they would go, oh yeah, because then I could show my husband that, yeah, I paid $100 to buy the kit, but I get the money back the same month or that following month. And that was how they got confidence to actually not get like their husband's mad at them for, spending $100 on a kit. So we still want to show this to them because let's face it, the $99 kit is the best deal, especially if they're going to do something with the business. They get a lot more product, a lot more business supplies. Almost every consultant I know that ends up getting a discounted kit, that ends up doing something with their business and wanting to be a consistent monthly thing, they always say, I wish I got the $99 kit. So I now always say, most consultants, once they get going, they always regret not buying the $99 kit. So I'm going to make sure you know the difference in what you get in these two kits. And then if you do hit your 500, you're going to get that money back. And that normally makes them go, oh yeah, I probably just want to do the $99 kit. Okay. The ones that didn't is because they literally just don't have the money at that time and they want to get started, which is absolutely fine. That's why it's what it's there for. It doesn't mean you're not, the consultant isn't going to do anything just because they don't put a lot of investment in it. I've shared with you guys the director Michelle Brooks story of that. It was the first time we ever had a discounted kit, and I didn't really know how to share it, and so all I did was focus on the discounted kit. And she was like, man, I wish I got the regular kit. But if somebody's going to do something, they're going to do something like she did. She could have said, oh, woe is me, I wish I knew, and quit. Instead, she's like, well, I better start working my business so I can get the stuff that I want. And she did. And she's a director, So there's that right there. So they made their $100 back. Okay. Now it's easier for you to say, so you did that in 15 days, sometimes less. What do you think you can do by the end of the month? And most of the time they'll say, oh, well, all my people I know bought and I don't want to bug them and blah, blah, blah. And that's how we start to say, okay, that's totally understandable. So that's what I'm here for, is to share with you different ways to meet new people. So and that's why it's important when they do a launch party. It's scary, especially if you're not really a sponsor that sponsors regularly. Consultants tend to get scared to coach their new consultants to ask for parties because they think like, oh, is that going to push them too hard? Is that going to scare them away? The thing is, guys, that's the best option. It's in their best interest. If they don't understand that yet, that's one thing, and it's going to be, and most of the time they're not, but it's their best bet. It's the best result they're going to get. So what you're doing is you are literally doing what's best for them. Just like a parent, we tell them to finish high school, go to college, because we know the results they're going to get if they do those things. They don't. They think, oh, I don't need that. I can go get this and do that. And I can work for my best friend's dad. And, but we know the struggles they're going to get later on in life if they don't have a high school education and a college education, right? So it's the same thing with our team members. They don't understand it, and we just have to tell them, please trust me that this is the best. This process is a proven process. It's not just a few people. It's those that follow this process, this formula, go on to be more successful in the business than people that don't. Okay. Everybody has a different outcome because everybody's their personalities are different. Their, pool of people that they pull into their business are different, just everything. But that's where you come in. So you can say, all right, how, maybe you weren't at their launch party. And so you don't know how many people actually that they even asked, if maybe they forgot. I've had plenty of consultants say, yeah, I forgot to ask for people to book parties at their launch party. They had a good launch party, but they forgot. So I'm going to pick on you, Chris, not Chris, Cindy, since you're here. What would we say to a consultant that they did a party? They said, oh my gosh, Cindy, I had like $800 party and, it was so great. And you say, how many parties did you get booked? And then I'm the consultant. I'll say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to ask for parties. What would you say then?
I would say to them, totally understandable, as you're doing your follow-up with your hostess, talk to her in regards to maybe having another party, people that didn't show up, or has any of her friends mentioned to her, hey, this might be a good idea to have a gathering of people and do like that.
Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Follow-up is the key, because here's the thing. We can have a plan all day long. Like we could practice, we could say, this is when I'm going to do this. This is what's going to, roll me into this next conversation. But when you're there, you're really at the mercy of everybody around you, because your crowd, and even online, people, they gauge what happens, and you may have a certain vision of how it's going to go, but the crowd really gauges everything. So if you have no engagement, if it's online, or if you're in front of people and they just, they're talking about food and they're not really paying attention to Scentsy, and you're like, how do I do this? You can have the intention for it to happen, but then it doesn't. But that's where consultants really, really struggle. That is when they think that that's the only option, that, oh, I messed up. I guess I'm not good at this. I guess Scentsy, is not for me, or Scentsy sucks, and they blame it on Scentsy or whatever. Instead of saying, what could I done different? And Cindy said, making that follow-up call to the hostess and saying, hey, I just realized that I never asked your friends if they wanted to do their own party, because you can get an extra half off item at their party. And when your hostess says, what, I can get another half off party, another half off item, they're going to help you get that party booked, because they want to get everything on their list, because that first party, they may not have gotten everything on their list, right? Now, obviously, a lot of concern, especially with the host exclusive kit, a lot of team members come to me saying, well, if I'm like doing this formula and I'm transitioning all my hostesses into consultants, how am I supposed to get my orders and my minimum in, right? So it's a valid concern. However, it's all about your perspective. So what I always tell people, if you have people joining left and right, that is a good problem to have. Okay. And I promise you that, not everybody's going to say yes. It's funny. People either have the fear of everybody saying no, or they have the fear of everybody says yes. And it's like, well, which one is the bigger fear? So really, the everybody joins your team is that people stress even more about, I've noticed, because they think, I'm not going to get any sales, and I'm brand new. I don't know how to train these people. And so I want you guys to know that that's why we have these training calls, is that you're not supposed to train your people all by yourself. Get them going, but we're a team. Okay. And then second, statistically, 1 in 10, maybe 15 people are going to say yes. If you think everybody's going to join, that's a great mindset to have. It's a very positive one, but you're going to see that the more you ask, eventually people are going to say you're going to see more no's than yeses. Now, again, it's all your perspective. You can go, well, I don't want to have to ask 15 people before somebody joins. And it's all how you look at it. If you let yourself get scared out of getting the no or scared out of getting the yes, then, there's really nowhere to go, right? You're just basically trying to set yourself up for failure, basically. So anyways, let's get back to the follow-up. So that's when you tell your host, you know what? I'm brand new. I totally forgot to ask anybody if they wanted parties. I always encourage you to have that conversation before the party so they know I'm going to be asking your friends, because here's the thing. What are you doing? You're setting yourself up for help. If you forget about the party to ask them to do parties, your hostess knows if people book a party, I get an extra half off item at their party. Do you think your hostess is going to go, Jess, didn't you say that, like, if they book parties, I can get another half off item? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I almost forgot. So, obviously your beautiful host is excited about some extra half off items, and they remind you. So they're working for you, right? If you kind of talk to them about it beforehand. And then what I always share is that if you talk to them about the opportunity of actually becoming a consultant before the party, it gives them time in between to kind of sit back and observe, like, do I have people interested in buying? Would I have clients? And so when you are going to the point of closing the order, it's not the awkward moment. It's not like, okay, now I'm gonna have to bring it up and I don't know how they feel. You've already given them time to kind of ponder and think and probably talk to their husband, like, well, she's gonna ask me to join. Should I do this? And so they've already done all the work into whether this is for them right now or not. And instead of just throwing on them, okay, well, I have to close this party today, so you let me know if you want to join. They'll be like, I have no idea, So do you see that, how it'd be a lot more easier to transition because you've already let them know? And so when they either say yes or no, you know that they've thought about it and it's just not right for them. And you're like, you know what? It's not for everybody. But the cool thing is, it's available for you whenever if anything changes. If you just change your mind and want to do it, or your circumstances change, I always have that available to you. And so then you get to check it off your check marks, your list of what you need to do with your business. My hostess knows about joining. And then you could put little notes, like, say you just had a party and you put her on here because, or him, and the only reason why they said I'm just not right now is because I'm not going to give you a reason, but like, say no, not right now, but I am interested. Like, they're saying I am interested, just not right now. So they'd be on your top 5, okay? Because they've just hosted for you. They have hot customers, meaning they're hot. They're buying currently, and now you get to reach out to these people and say, well, your hostess gets an extra half off item at the end and closing of your party. So somebody needs to do a reorder party. And I'm sure you also have plenty of people that didn't come to this party or didn't buy. And one thing you're going to find is people are going to say, oh yeah, we know all the same people. We don't know. I don't know anybody else. Oh, okay. So you guys are related. So all your relatives are the same people, and your neighbors, you live like, the people you see at your nail salon, your hair salon, your doctor, your chiropractor, all these people, they're the same people that person knows, right? And they're like thinking, oh, I guess not, because they don't know to think about that extended, and that's where we come in. So now let's say your hostess, their friend books a party from your follow-up. Now what you get to do is you could say, okay, host number 1, host number 2 is about to host a party. I talked to all my hostesses about joining. So I want to know how you feel that if she ends up wanting to become a consultant, are you okay with her joining, even though you got the opportunity first? And if you join, she can become your first team member on your team. And they were like, oh. And usually that gives them a lot more confidence. Like, oh, my friend wants to join. Well, shoot. Do you see how that works? Do you see that it's a very, there's strategy. So there's always the intention to eventually get people to book, get people to know about the business opportunity. And if it doesn't work that initial time, you're reaching out, and this person, host number one, still may say, no, that's fine. If they join, it's totally fine. I'll support her and da da da. And then I can't tell you how many times I've seen that person join under them like immediately. And that's how they start to grow their team. Okay. And what you're doing is you're teaching your team member how you run your business. So they've seen your strategy, they've heard the conversation. So what are they going to do when they become a consultant? They're going to go, oh, this is what she did for me and what she said to me when I was a hostess, and what she coached me to do to set up my party. This is the conversation she had with me when I was about to close the order. So you're already training your future consultant, which is going to be taking more time off of your coaching process when your team member or your client becomes a team member. You've already taught them. And so now they're just going to go back and go, okay, I'm not saying let them go and say, oh, just do what I did. You definitely want to refresh their mind, but then you're going to help them build confidence, because they're going to realize that they know more than they realize, because they went through the cycle with you with being a hostess. Does that make sense? And that's why hostesses are always your best. I mean, not always, but statistically are your best future team members. Okay, let me make this small and then get back to. So I know I'm like shoving a lot of information down your guys' throats right now. So that's why this is recorded. And so you can go back and kind of really break down the process of how things work. Now, really fast, before we start on this again, I want to share a disclaimer. That's in a perfect situation. I'm not saying every time somebody books a party with me, everybody ends up joining, everybody ends up booking. There's people that end up just, nope, sorry, they do nothing. And I've had flops. I've had people not get one order. I've had people, I put a lot of time into them and nobody shows up to a real party. You know what I mean? So don't think that I'm sharing these, everything that I'm talking about, I do regularly, but I will tell you the success rate is definitely smaller than the fail rate. I will tell you that all the time. But when you fail forward instead of saying like, oh, I failed, so I'm not good at this. No, you say, how can I do this better? Is there something I could have said better or more clear, or, is there something I didn't talk about? Did I forget to talk about hosting at that party? Now I know I need to remind myself, what can I do to remind myself to ask for the parties? So you can play a booking game, and that booking game reminds you that you're basically asking them to host parties through the booking game. That was my strategy. That is my strategy. Everything I do triggers me to remember what the next step is. Okay. So again, it's like a formula. So the booking, like a lot of people say, I don't do booking games. Well, for me, that's fine. But for me, I will forget to ask people to book parties if I don't, and join my business if I don't have a game that leads me to that. So that's how I've gotten. So from the first party I ever did, that's how I got parties booked. That's my strategy. I use games in order to help me grow my business. Okay. So it's not just, hey, who wants to host a party necessarily. There's a game that they are rewarded by playing, and there's tools involved, which helps you and them learn about what's available. Okay. So new consultants must be personally sponsored by you during the qualification period and reach certified by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, June 30th. So in case you're new and you've never been through, you may not even been through a whole month yet. You may have joined today. All of our months close at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. So if you're East Coast, you have more hours than we do. You have till 2:59 a.m. to get your last order in. So, and I always post a little map that shows you what time your end of month is. And so if this person joins and closes the party on the very last day and it's over $1,000, you could literally get your last certified person or first to qualify you for level 1, 2, or 3 on the very last day of the month. That's what's so amazing about this business. Amazing things can happen in one day, which is cool. So list each new consultant you sponsor and the date they officially hit certified. So you want your goal, because the qualification, let me stop this real fast and get back to, oh, shoot, hold on a second. Let me get back, because I want to keep that up. Let me get back into my workstation. Okay. How to earn each. Okay, so when you look at the qualifications, so you need one certified consultant in level 1. You need two, two new consultants for level 2, and three new consultants for level 3. Okay, as well as the PRV qualifications. So, or if you want to be top 50, there obviously has to be, you have to be goaling to sponsor as many people as possible in that what is it, 3 months, May, June, March, April, May, June. Oh, that's a 4-month period. That's okay, that's usually what it is, 3 to 4 months. Now the thing is, I was talking about yesterday, is that a lot of people just count themselves out. They're like, oh, never sponsored that many people in that amount of time, so that's just not me. But you can decide that it is you, and that you can decide that I'm going to strive to do this for this month, this incentive period. And you will be amazed when you make that decision, how many people are actually going to join, because you're actually intentionally asking and sharing and looking at ways to book parties in order to find those new people, right? So when you count yourself out and say, that's just not me, you're not going to be booking parties. You're not going to be booking more parties at those parties, and you're not going to be asking people to join. And that's just, it's really that simple. And I know people are like, well, you're acting like it sounds so simple. It really is that simple. We're the ones that make it harder. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'll throw myself under the bus. When I'm not sponsoring, I'm not asking as much as I should. That's just the way it is. If I didn't sponsor anybody last month, because I was not talking to people about the opportunity, and because I was focusing on other things. And so they always say, energy goes where focus or focus goes where energy goes. So if your energy is being focused on sponsoring, how many more people do you think you're going to actually sponsor than if you aren't focusing in on it at all, right? So use me as an example. I didn't sponsor anybody last month because I was not focusing. It wasn't like my goal last month. It should have been, but it wasn't. And I'm just being honest, because I don't want you guys to think that, just I've had the success that I've had because, I've done, I've sponsored every single month of my business. That's not true. I sponsored every month of my business for the first 2 years, and that grew a very strong foundation. And I would still average at least 1 to 2 people a month, spread out in the year. But when you don't focus on it and you don't set the goal, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. That's just the reality. Okay, so let's go back to, I opened up another screen. So Cindy, can you give me a thumbs up if you could see the keep growing thing again? Okay, so here it says, pick your prize, earn level 3, and get 2-piece set of Scentsy brand luggage or a pair of custom Scentsy Converse sneakers. So if that's something that motivates you, if that you're like, man, I want those shoes, even if that's the only thing that excites you, here's the thing, guys, let that be your fuel. Even if it's you think it's silly, you're like, I don't know if I'm even going to wear them, but I think it's kind of cool. But whatever does make you say, oh, that would be cool, let that be your motivation, because what's really happening here is you're growing your business. You're going to be making more money throughout the 4 months than if you were not focusing on this incentive, because you're booking parties, you're bringing new people on, so you're getting sponsoring bonuses, right? That you wouldn't have had if you weren't growing a team. And you're literally learning how important having parties really is. And whether it's online or in person or on the go or whatever, or sit and sniffs with 10 different people a week, it's vital to our business. If we try to talk ourselves out of that we don't need to sell, I don't, because here's the thing, The 500 is the minimum all the way up to superstar director to be paid off your sponsoring bonuses. But if you are simply selling $500 every month and that's it, it's very likely you're selling to the same people over and over and over again. You're not finding new people. Now, on the other hand, if you are selling to new people every month and they all are new people, but you're still only getting to a certain place every month as far as sales, you're either not following up, because that should add to your PRV. Does that make sense? You're already getting 500 or more with your people that buy from you all the time. They don't want to host, or they host, but they don't want to join. But then you're meeting new people. Your sales should be going up, because now you're following up with those people and you're adding new people on. So that makes your PRV go up, right? So the reason why this goal right here, points in PRV, they're asking you to sell at least 1,000 a month, because or 1,000 in that 4-month period, which 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's basically, if you were active every month and did at least a $300 order a month of 2 of those to get you to that 1,000. But if you're thinking about being paid on your downline, do you see how simple your $1,000 is going to be? But PRV helps you find people to talk to about hosting and talk to about joining. And when we're not doing either of those, it's just because we're not having the conversation. A lot of people, I'm like the bad person in people's eyes, like, because I make things, it stings to the truth, right? Like, oh crap, yeah. But if we don't recognize what we're not doing, we're not going to be able to get over that, and we're not going to start doing what we need to be doing. So if I don't recognize myself that last month was one of the lowest PRV months I've had in, gosh, a long time. I sold like $600. That is not normal for me, but I can honestly pick it out and let you guys know that I was not booking parties. Honestly, I ran off of my Scentsy club, because my whole focus was on something on a personal level. I'm selling and buying a house, and it just, all packing the house. But that's the beauty of this business, you guys, is that I've built a business. So when I need to step back and focus just on my family, I'm still making money. Does that make sense? And yeah, my customers aren't getting followed up the way I would have normally, but instead I send out a mailer every month. So they're not getting touched by me. So when I'm focusing on my family, they're still I'm investing in them, because I'm mailing them. I have to print all the stuff. I have to stuff it all. I have to postage. All that stuff costs me money. So when they see that I'm investing in them, they're going to stick with me over somebody that just pops up and says, hey, I'm a consultant, right? And then when I am ready, like this month, to follow up with them, is it more likely they're going to actually place an order because they've smelt something, they've got something in their hand, and it's a new catalog. So it's very likely they're going to buy, right? So there's lots of, again, I'm hoping you guys are seeing the formula, the strategy behind all this. And when we take any strategy out, we end up, we don't get the biggest result, right? We may get a little bit of result, but we don't get the full picture of what we should be getting. And so, yeah, so if I wasn't reaching out, taking orders last month, I was just relying on my Scentsy club, then I'm not going to get somebody calling me to say, hey, I want to join Scentsy, right? Because I'm not showing them that I want them to join. I'm not showing that I'm willing to support them. So I have to make up for that this month and make sure I have the conversations with those people. But now I have a reason to call them. Hey, did you get my mailer? That breaks the ice. Okay, let's go back to the actual breakdown. Let me move this right here. This is in my way. Okay. So FAQs. This is who is eligible, which is basically an active consultant. You have to be current and active in the business. When is the qualification? We have that already in that paper. We're just showing you. How do you earn the incentive? That's basically in this tab. Can a new consultant earn the incentive? That's what's so awesome. I'm just going to bring this down for the new people so you could see. Yes. So like I said, Scentsy is never going to be the type of company that only gauges people that are at the top of the company to get more things. Actually, they're quite the opposite. They give new consultants more opportunity half the time to earn these things than older. Like I can never, if they ever did an incentive that like you get bonuses for promoting, I can't do that because I can't promote anymore. So it makes you have to find ways to earn points in different areas. So old seasoned people like me have to still do all the basics and also get creative in order to make up those points where other people are earning them. So can rewards be transferred to a consultant, to another consultant? So usually they don't. This past, I'm almost positive, maybe Cindy, if you remember, I think that either this one or the one that just the fall incentive, or one before that you can like, if you earn for more people, you can give it to another consultant, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they've never done that before. That was the first time and probably the last until we do another like family one again. But they don't do that because here's the thing. We don't want to encourage people to not try to earn it themselves. It's not as great of a reward if you, yeah, you might be going on a trip, but you didn't earn it. So they want consultants to try to strive to earn it themselves and then go on it with their team members, which is an amazing feeling when you get to go on incentive trips with your team. It's awesome. So what counts towards my PRV for this incentive? So any PRV sales will count toward earning the incentive. Now, I want to make sure that everybody knows that if you're tallying very tightly with your PRV, it's PRV, not sales. So if you're selling a lot of licensed products, like a bunch of Disney stuff, it's not going to tally up to the sales that you're getting. You have to make sure you're paying attention to the PRV. And that's why this right here, the tracker is going to show you. I've had consultants almost every incentive period go, I sold $600 last month and I only got 450 points. And I'll go, okay, great job. How many products in that month did you sell that were licensed products? And that's always what happened because they're looking at the dollar amount and not the PRV, which is personal retail volume. Okay. If you need more information on why that's what that is, just, contact your sponsor or reach out to me. Let's see if there's anything significant. Okay, so this time we've had incentives that, and this past one we did that, like if they certified after that they've been in the company before the qualifications start, you get a little bit of PRV or little points towards it. This specific one, because one, it's not as long and it's just a different type of incentive. This time you don't get points for people that are already in your business and certified during that qualification period. So that needs to be very clear so you don't get your hopes up and get disappointed because you think, those count. So also when somebody comes back to your team in the qualification period, even if they come back in as a essential consultant and certify, that doesn't count. Okay. I'm not going to go through everything just because of time, restraints, but I really do hope that all of you take the time to go through and understand what inside and out, what has to be done, what can be done, and get all your questions and concerns, met, like answered. So go through the make sure that your questions are answered in this FAQ. If they aren't, then reach out to your sponsor. If your sponsor can't help you, go to your director. If your director can't help you, I can help you, okay? If I can't help you, I will find the answers for you. I have that ability to be able to find people that will be able to give us those answers. Or I'll direct you to who will be able to. So because of, like I said, we're basically at the top of the hour. I really just, if you are a sponsor, do yourself a favor and reach out, make this a reason to reach out to your front line, at least your front line, and say, hey, I just want to know if you are aware about the new incentive, if you want to go over it with me, and if it's something that you want to strive for, because you may not have talked to them for months or unfortunately, maybe some of them you don't talk to for years, but it gives you a reason to reach out and say, hey, did you see this new opportunity that we have? And then if you feel like you're not like confident enough to talk to your team about it, then reach out to your upline and say, hey, I'd like to have like a call with my team on it so they can get their questions answered. If you can make some time. Now, what I'm going to encourage all sponsors to do is to make sure they listen to this recording first before you're going to ask your upline to take a separate time out to be able to explain the majority of the business. Of the incentive. Okay. Because remember, we're all in this for, we're in business for ourselves. And so if you're going to ask a sponsor to take extra time out to teach you something that was already taught, that's kind of selfish, right? So at least make sure you have them, you don't want your time being wasted because their questions may be answered in this call. And if it wasn't, that's when they go, okay, well, yeah, I still have questions. I listened to that training. I know I went through all the FAQs and I still have questions. That's when you say, okay, awesome. You did your part. And now I'd be happy to set up a time to go through it with you. Okay, so really fast before I let you guys go, this is something that's been on my mind for a while, and I didn't want to say it at the beginning of the call because some people kind of watch the videos and then they stop. They're not really committed to going through the whole training every week. And so I figured people that are still with us, whether you're recorded or not, or live, you are committed enough in your business that you want to put work into your business. You want to train yourself. You want to learn new things. You want to grow your business. And so with that being said, something's been on my heart for a couple of years now, actually. And it's funny because Cindy's on live and she's somebody I talked to about it the first time it came up to me, and it was at Reunion in 2018. And I've been thinking a lot about what are we? We are a team, right? We are here we're better together. We are, this business, you aren't successful unless you have other people, either clients buying your product, hosts helping you, do parties and find new people and find new team members, things like that. You can't do any of that with just yourself, right? There's people always has to be involved. So that's a team effort. And last night I shared with you guys about a movie that I was watching with my kids, and it was a sports movie about rugby and like just the different ways it showed very distinct ways two different people coached. The main star of the movie was this young man, and his dad was his rugby coach. And so he was been coached his whole life by his dad. And he had an opportunity to go and be coached by somebody else. And they were totally two separate types of, one was like, all I care about is you winning. If you don't, get out of my face. I don't want anything to do with you. He didn't show affection towards his child. This guy over here, he wanted to grow people. He wanted to add value to these young men's lives that can be taken and used throughout the rest of their lives. It wasn't just about winning the game. Okay. His bigger goal was to help instill values that morals and values that that's going to make the difference between a kid with integrity and a kid with not, right? He came there with no integrity. He was arrogant. He didn't have respect for anything and anybody. And then when he left, he had the same motto as his coach, is that I'm not going to do anything in my life that's going to embarrass my family, my team, or myself. And when we think about it, there's a lot of things that, even as a Scentsy team member, we could be, having a very bad negative attitude on social media. And that doesn't just reflect you, it reflects on Scentsy as a company. It reflects on your sponsor because they brought you in. It reflects on your upline, your whole team, whether they're your sideline or, in your downline or upline. But we truly have an opportunity to affect people's lives on a good way and a bad way. And what I'm getting at is that there's a lot of some of the strongest teams that they make these movies, like true story. It was a true story, actually. It was called Strong. Oh gosh, I'll post it at the below. I can't remember what it's called. Something strong. But anyways, is that team members, the strongest teams, that they make these movies, these really cool outcomes, you know, that they want to make a movie out of it because it's such a great thing. All of these movies I've ever seen, and I used to be in sports, I used to play basketball. All these team environments that I've been around, what do they do before a big situation, like a big game or even a game? What they do is they pray together. And I know that not everybody is, you may not have the faith, you may not, I don't want to offend anybody by any means, but there are so many people that that's how they get their strength, is through prayer. And when me as a leader, my biggest goal is for you guys to achieve whatever you're seeking to achieve. It could be this big, it could be this big. But I find my strength through prayer. And so when people come to me and say, how have you had your success? You know, what do you do? What do you know? Da, 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 da. Honestly, the truth is that I get my knowledge, my strength, my courage through prayer. And so starting next Monday, I just want to warn everybody that I am going to pray with you guys. You can join me, or you can, mute me for the time of that or you can say, okay, Jess is going to pray every Monday before. I'm going to jump on a little bit later, so it's done if this isn't your thing. But I also, if it's not something that offends you, you may not be a prayer, you may not be, have a religion, but it doesn't offend you, I encourage you to participate. Because the more people together, again, we're better together. And I am a believer that we can truly do amazing things together, especially through prayer. And so I will, I'll ask if people want to lead one, if they want to, but I would be happy to lead the prayer every Monday. But I almost feel like I haven't been truly giving you guys who I am by not doing that. And when I told you I spoke with Cindy and her husband that in 2018, I told them that I wanted to pray before our meeting, because every reunion, your superstar director gets a room that we can do like a meet and greet. And I was like, guys, I really feel like I need to do this. But like, yes, you should then. If that's what you feel like you need to do, let's do it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I chickened out, guys. It has never gone away out of my, like, I feel like, okay, it's what, 3 years now, and I still feel like this is what I need to be doing. So I finally made the decision through a lot of prayer, if this is what I should be doing. And I love you guys like family. We are a team, and we may have different, tools and actions that we do to be successful in Scentsy. We don't go and kick a ball or anything, but we do hard things, on a emotional level. Sometimes some people on a physical level, like getting around to deliver your testers or products, may not be as easy for the next person. So I believe we all could really benefit from prayer. And it may not, you may not see the benefit immediately. Of course, I'd love that to happen for all of us, but I think consistency, just like anything else, will make a difference. And I hope that more of you will participate. Like right now we're on, and Cindy's the only live person on, that's okay. But if you are watching recorded, and you can also reach out to me and tell me if this is something that you feel uncomfortable and you want to talk to me about it. I'm absolutely open to that as well. I wouldn't be offended if you're saying this is how I feel. I'm open to hearing your thoughts. But I do want you to know that that's not going to change my mind to not pray. So Denise, Amanda, and Vanessa are on the Facebook page. Hi, ladies. Vanessa, I did have closed caption. Oh, no, I don't. I have it on YouTube, just so you know. Once I upload it to YouTube, it's going to be on, hold on. Shoot. I'm trying to comment around to deliver your, hold on a second, guys. I can't reply without it starting. Okay, so I will, Denise, Amanda, and Vanessa are on the Facebook. So Vanessa's hearing impaired, obviously, ladies and gents. So when I upload the video, this training to YouTube, I have it that there's closed captions. So she can, and anybody else, they can read what we're talking about. Okay, just so you guys know. That's why she mentioned that. But anyways, if it's something that you feel like you need to talk to me about, if it's something that bothers you, or I don't know, you have suggestions, I'm happy to listen. But I will tell you that this has been on my heart for what, 3 years now. And I am going to do that because I've spent 10 years building this organization. And I feel like I'm only hurting you guys by not showing you where I get my courage and strength from. Okay. And of course, I'll pray that it helps you as well. So I'm not going to beat that over the head too much. I just wanted to share. Those that stuck in here to listen through the whole training, I appreciate you. And hopefully it'll inspire you guys when you have your own team meetings, if that's something that you feel that might help as well. When I start doing home team meetings again, I'm going to obviously open my and close my meetings with prayer as well. All right. So with that being said, I'm actually going to, I just decided the second to close our meeting with a prayer. Okay. Our dear, kind, and gracious Heavenly Father, we come before Thee as sisters and brothers and children of Thee, and we are so grateful for the opportunity to grow each day and share with each other our knowledge and our experiences, our struggles, and our strengths. And we pray that together we will continue to grow and help lift each other up and learn new things to be able to strengthen our families, our lives, and be able to gain skill that helps us with our confidence to be able to understand how much Thee loves us, and that we truly are in Thy image, and that whatever we have to share is always going to be received and appreciated by others somewhere, and that we'll have the confidence to continue to share even when those aren't appreciating what we have to share, that we continue to have the confidence to not let that bring us down, and know that there's someone out there that needs to have this opportunity, or the business, the products that'll make them smile, and let that be our tool to build relationships with others and learn from the people around us. May we know that this company loves us and only wants what we seek to find in the company, and that they strive to help build our character, and that we're in the right place and with the right people to benefit our lives in all areas. We are grateful for all the blessings that Thou bestows upon us each day, and we say these humbly and gratefully in Thy Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay, I love you guys. Have a great week. I will see you. If you're a leader, I'll see you in like 3 minutes. If not, I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.